Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and
Shade
the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nell.
And today we are jumping into our review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, number one city in America. Season 7, episode 13. Houston, here comes a problem.
Atlanta, Vegas.
Okay, you said Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. So yeah, Shade Squad, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it because we got some things to talk about. It was interesting. It was interesting. We got some things to talk about. Let's get into it and let's get shady. Oh, and I got some tea to spill. I told y'all I was coming back with the tea. Let's get shady. Now, we picking up where we left off at the pool, pool hall or whatever. Marsau was telling Stormy that, well, you're the one that told me that, basically the word bitch was a part of your culture. So, and it's a frequent word used. And this apparently made Stormy feel like he was being condescending or whatever. He took a moment where she was, I guess, being vulnerable and just talking to him and then tried to use it against her. And I was like, that's the worst when it uses your own against you. That's what that sounds like. You mad. You mad.
Did you agree with her
What?
that he took a vulnerable moment and tried
No,
to?
no. And that's why I said she's mad. I don't think that that was a vulnerable moment.
I
I
didn't
think
think so. I felt like it was actually related. Like she said in that moment that
right.
that's my culture to use the B word a lot. And now let's not get it twisted. He was being condescending. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I don't think
Because
it
he's
was.
basically saying, like, oh, so you're ghetto, so that's okay for you to talk like that.
But that's what she said also.
That's why I said he used her own words against her, and
But
that's why I felt
but
like
see
that's why
but
she couldn't say
but
nothing.
see to me that's not what I thought was condescending, because
No, I don't think that was
I felt
condescending.
like they had a conversation about that. What I thought was condescending was I can't teach a grown person how, like a different culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't teach you how to be proper. Now that I thought was condescending. But she said she wasn't even mad about the other stuff. Girl, I was like, well, I mean, maybe I was like, maybe I'm not reading into it enough, but I
Okay.
felt like
No,
he repeated exactly what you said.
right. So Stormy says that she doesn't want to go off, so she goes and takes her phone call, which she feels is more important. And when Courtney's like, "Well, I'm trying to finish this game," and Stormy declines and says she's ready to go. She then brings up them being an hour and a half late, and this is my thing. You waited. I don't know about you or how many people would have waited that long for somebody you not even cool with like that. I
I think
might have gave you 30 minutes, and that's only if you would have texted me and told me you was already on your way and down the street or something.
so what I'm gonna assume is I don't know if they was planning on playing pool the whole time or if she was actually playing pool for an hour and a half, right? I'm not gonna say she waited because I'm sure in a game of pool, a few games of pool, you can lose track of time, right?
Right.
So I'm not gonna say, yeah, she waited like I'm waiting around for you to get here. They was playing pool. But at the end of the day, you were supposed to be here.
She was already aggravated. So
Mm-hmm.
just in that in itself, this situation wasn't gonna go well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Marceau feels like, oh, so we can only be friends unless I allow you to call me the B word. And he's just not for that. Now, Tisha said that Stormy likes to hear herself talk. Basically, Stormy said that it's the energy for her, and she don't see them doing this anymore. She don't think that they can, make things better. And so that's it for Stormy. She's done with trying to be friends with the Scotts and
She said it was the energy back from when
from her
her and
meeting with
Tisha met
Tisha.
up. And
And
Tisha was
Tisha was
like,
shocked, like, oh,
well, what the hell we doing here then? Why the hell you invite us out? I ain't gonna lie, I felt Tisha. Wouldn't if that was the case?
right. And Stormy said that, she ain't worried about them because she in her bag like a grandma with a peppermint. Okay.
Girl, don't we know it?
Okay. I will give you that, girl. You are in your bag. Now,
Look, and we help you get there a little bit too. Shit,
we help you get there,
we invest in too, girl.
invested. And so, Tisha and Marceau are like, we don't need no new friends at this point in our big age. You know what I'm saying? And they basically vowed to never do double dates with people they don't know no more. And I was like, well, I'm with you. No new friends.
So Kimmy surprised Maurice with a sex therapist. Now she knew what she was doing because it had sex in the name. So of course he's gonna be all for it. And he was. Okay. When she got there, she had them separate so they could speak separately. And then says that, later on they'll speak together. So basically Kimmy let her know, that she's gone through radiation and chemotherapy. And she believes that, it's left her libido spent. While Maurice, on the other hand, explains that he believes chemotherapy does take a toll on your body, but Kimmy just has some mental barriers she needs to get past. That's really what it is. Now, she had now I'm sorry, she did explain to Maurice that chemotherapy does take a toll on your body and it's more than just mental. Okay. I don't know if it completely registered, but
I mean, I will say I could appreciate the third party being there to reinforce what we all have known and have been trying to tell this man. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He seemed like he got it a little bit, but he still seems like he's not.
apparently not, because that's after all this is when he went online and did all that
Right.
mess. So basically she had them do an exercise where Kimmy was to straddle him and have a conversation close, face to face, stare each other deep into each other's eyes. I mean, this is something they're supposed to do every other day, I think. Yeah, every other day, uninterrupted, to help, with their intimacy. Now, Maurice said, he can get with this. Okay, he gonna get an A+ for this, and he want to know when the next time the doc gonna be back in town, because this is the type of therapy that he likes. Okay, and you know what, Trace? Now, after seeing these scenes, it makes sense why Kimmy had never like addressed that whole crap that was online. I guess
Yeah.
because it happened afterwards. So, all right, go ahead. I'm good.
All right. Well, before we get, too deep into it, if you haven't already, I know I said this before, but when I say it again in the middle of the video, something's good coming. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
So let me give you the first piece of tea that came out last night. And I just want to say shout out to Queen Sheba and her palace, okay? Because she has been spilling all the tea and I have been here sipping it, okay? Now, first off, last night it comes out that poor Destiny, former castmate Destiny, who we no longer speak of because we ain't really like her when she was on here nowhere. But her man, remember the last man that we saw, Moses, that was on, she had him on the show, and
that was the one that was out of town.
right, the one that was out of town, and they was visiting each other. Apparently,
with his rounds.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I ain't even gonna make up nothing to that because it's gonna be inappropriate. But poor Moses, I shouldn't even say poor Moses. Congratulations to Moses and his new wife. He has just married one of the Love and Marriage Huntsville producers from the show. How do you think that he met the producer? Like, I'm not going.
Was this a long engagement?
No.
Um,
because Destiny was just saying that she was with him back. It's not looking, and that's what Queen Sheba was talking about. How basically a man knows when he know, and if it's and he was with you that whole
or an
time.
opportunity.
and he's found the opportunity, met her, and they living their best life.
He will string you along until he finds what he's looking for.
And I was just like, but that's terrible because clearly I'm sure we know that they cross paths because of her. It's just, anyway, nope. Look, nobody wants to be lonely at Christmas. What do they do? What do they
Damn,
do?
Christmas. Damn.
But that's just like, I just felt like it was so hard because I'm like, that's right up under your nose, girl. And
Oh,
then,
so he was living here?
huh?
He was living there? He moved to Huntsville?
I don't think he moved to Huntsville. I don't know where she lives. I don't know all
So
the
listen, it
details.
might not have been up under her nose when she was back over in Huntsville. Homegirl might have been flying
But
over
then
there.
it makes me think, so you knew, like you clearly knew about this relationship because it was on the show. So as the producer girl,
Oh, the producer definitely knew.
so then that also makes me think, so did Carlos know? Like it just goes so much deeper. Like it makes you think, so how many people, because if I was Destiny, I would feel like a fool right now.
It wouldn't be the first time.
And you know what? I hate to say it, and this is gonna sound so bad, and y'all do not crucify me in the comments. And if you do, it is what it is.
Karma's bitch.
And when Mel said God got her, I don't want to be her enemy. That's all I'm saying. Because it just don't ever look
Well,
good.
neither did Destiny.
She said, I ain't want to be enemies either.
She didn't. She tried everything not to be.
Please be my friend, Mel.
Shoot, they nobody want to be Mel's. Mel the one cutting them off.
She really is. So then Nell has invited the group, for an outing. And things are a little awkward between Courtney and Stormy, and then Tisha and Marsau arrive, so that's super awkward. Mel arrives, and then Martell shows up shortly after. And this is also the same time that I'm not sure, y'all got to go back, but this is also the same time that the Revenge P is coming out last year for those that don't know. That Martell and Ariane were plotting on putting out, allegedly, even though we got Ariane saying it on tape, so it's not alleged. But anyway, this is
I thought she was just upset about the whole thing that he was talking about, like the name change and all that stuff that Nell was talking about. This is also around the time of
that's why Mel won't even really speak to him for real, like won't even pay him dust, because this is when all this is coming out like online, and she's finding out that you were trying to put out a whole tape of me, you and your little vengeful little side dish. And then she's so stupid, she goes and talks to a blogger. I remember that's what I was saying. She went and talked to a blogger and opened her mouth. So now you have her on tape admitting that they had some revenge P plot against Mel. So she could possibly get them landed in jail.
Oh, goodness.
That's why, if you're gonna mess up your whole family, do it for something that's smart, that's worth it. Just not coleslaw.
They usually just take the easy route.
Hmm?
They usually just take the easy route.
I see. So anyway, Nell reveals to the group that her and Chris are taking them on a trip to Houston. Whoop, whoop. She gives them all little cowboy pilgrim looking hats. Then Nell and Chris said that, that's one of their favorite places to vacation. And so she wants to know if everybody's good. And then there's an awkward silence. So Kimmi, comes to ask Stormy, I thought you and the Scotts were good. And Stormy's like, and so she pulls her to the side, talks to Stormy. Stormy basically says she feels Marsau was condescending. And she just wasn't really feeling that, and she doesn't really feel like there'll be a friendship, and it's really just gonna be high and by because she's not trying to go there with him. And again, Kimmi says what we kind of all know, that Stormy likes to dish it, but she don't like it when she get it back. So I mean, that's a lot of people. I can't be mad at her for that. I think that's everybody flaw for really. And so yeah. And then now then they decide they're going to Houston, and Mel says she feels a way about going because of everything that I just shared with y'all. But she gonna go, and she just wants to be as far away from Martell. She don't want them to group together. Don't try to put us in no activities that ain't cute. If we ain't for the fun and games of it all. And so they all decide they're gonna ride out, and Go to Houston. And apparently they invited Tiffany and Lewis as well, but
They ain't gone.
they ain't going. So I guess I wonder had they quit the show at that point. You know what I mean?
I mean, they had already said it in a couple of episodes.
Well, that's why I thought it was weird that they're like, oh, let's invite Tiffany and Lou. And I don't know. I just thought that was weird because it's like, well, they don't want to film anymore.
Maybe they thought it would be nice to let them get away.
They just extend. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, after all that, the guys sat down, you know, they eating some barbecue. They getting on Martell about how he ain't got no girl unless he gonna bring an import. And Fletcher said he ain't got nobody that got his name no more either. I said, damn, Fletcher, you just
shots fired.
Right. You already know how this man's sensitive about it. You just
right.
And she went and hopped her ass on a bull with two other ladies.
And they don't know how to ride a bull. They was like, oh, now we see this is what 29 years do.
And this actually got Marsau excited. Okay. He said, it looks like it's gonna be a lot more fun hanging out with them than I thought.
Okay. He said he got him a wild one.
Everybody's landed now at this point in Houston. The Fletcher show up first. Of course, they're the hosts with the most, so they got to pick out the best room. And it was very nice. It was a very nice house, very nice room. Then Mel shows up. Chris decides to make a joke about where they're going to sleep. She said they. She said, listen, sir. She told him straight up, listen, we're not about to play no games. Don't even put our names together. Okay? At all. Let's not do that. All right? She was like, you got it? He said, I got it, Miss Rogers. Aye, Captain. Okay? Now, then Martell shows up. You know, he tries to give a hi. She gives a little wave.
He said, it don't bother me to be around Melody.
Of course it don't. You want to be around her.
Right.
Please, you would smell her dirty drawers if you could. Okay? It don't bother you. That's what you want. You want to be in that girl presence. Okay? So then everybody starts rolling in and, you know, they all get directed to their room. Kimmi's not really excited about the fact she got to share a bathroom with Marsau, but she is excited that she gets to do some therapy homework. Because apparently Maurice has been a pretty bad boy. All right. She said what was no big deal at one point has now blossomed into a whole forest of big deal because he went all over the internet talking about sex with his wife with cancer. Okay. She said it's disrespectful and doesn't protect her. And now got her mother questioning her. Now she said that he owes her family an apology. So they, you know, do like a little role play about how he's going to apologize to her mother. It seems like when she addresses it at home, he still takes it upon himself and thinks that it's okay to make jokes and light of it.
That's true.
On camera. So I think she's tired of addressing it off camera, and he's still going on camera doing yes.
Okay.
So she's like, okay, well, you want to do this on camera, so let's address it on camera.
We see Marsau and Tisha. And they, you know, talking about why Tiffany and Lou aren't there. They miss them because apparently they the ones that make the drinks. I can see Tiffany being it, you know. She said that she had ran into Tiffany out while she was shopping, and she was just saying how postpartum was real. And so I guess again, as we know, she's taking time away from the cameras. But she talks about, you know, seeing baby Ace and how, you know, admiring him and how he was so cute, and that, you know, led into the baby conversation, of course, and her going to take a pregnancy test. Which Marsau is not amused. And basically, I'm not gonna lie to you, until I saw the clip of the scene from the next episode and he broke it down and explained when he was explaining it to the men. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Marsau, we all know he got his with him. But he was like, that's like me coming to you and saying, I took an STD test. Well, why would you be in the position to take an STD test unless you were doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing, right?
I don't think it's the same.
Well, I guess he was just saying like, if you know I have a vasectomy, why would you be out here taking a pregnancy test unless you're somebody else?
Because what she's saying is you can still get pregnant even though you have a vasectomy. That's not the same thing as an STD.
Did you Google it?
I did not Google it. I don't care.
Do you know how high of a chance it
Listen, I don't care. Look, I already told you.
is?
My question was the same as his question. Do the babies look like the husband that she's
Right? Do the
referring
babies
to?
look like the husband?
So
Because it's a
I
1% chance.
but look, the problem is I don't care.
Now,
Because
that's why
as
the
many
problem is
times
the mouth
as
that it's coming from
done seen
because
his
Marceau has
back.
been to Africa for a month. And so
That's why I don't care. If she listen, men don't care, okay?
you don't care.
If she has sex with somebody else, and if she brought home a baby from somebody else, I don't give a damn.
You say that, but you be like, oh no, Tisha, that's wrong. Marceau ain't brought home no babies that we know of.
You said Marcel what?
He ain't brought home no babies that we know of. And anything,
And
and at anything at this point, anything that
guess
he
what?
does,
It's
Tisha
called
has
karma.
allowed him to do.
It's called karma. It's called karma.
You're stupid.
It's called karma. It happens.
But so yeah, so Tisha is obviously offended by this because she's like, you making it seem like you don't trust me. And he's like, because that is weird. And then he's like, I feel like you're gaslighting me. And he's like, you're trying to pull a Marceau on Marceau.
And if that ain't proof enough,
Right.
if that ain't, I'd be like, what the hell do you mean by that, sir? What does that mean?
But
So first of all, so that means you know you're a gaslighter, first of all.
and so basically he says that if
Is this what I sound like when I'm talking to you?
What?
Said, oh my, yeah,
Right.
oh my God.
And he's basically said that if she did, were to end up pregnant, he would want a blood test. And she is like, oh, then I would leave you. And he's like, how are you gonna leave somebody when I left you first?
Is that what you
said? Yeah. She said, no, I would leave you first. I said, oh, is this how arguments go when he tells you he's getting on a plane to Africa? But anyway, so yeah, that was Tisha Marceau, and I thought he had a good point with the whole STD thing.
It's not the same.
Nell says it's not the same. Y'all dropped out of the
There's nothing to prevent you for the rest of your life from getting an STD. So you can still get an STD from your husband.
True, but
no, it's not the same.
Well, no,
if a vasectomy prevents you from getting pregnant from your husband, right? For the rest of your life, that's not like.
But if he knows he doesn't have one, and then you show up with one, or you say, I need to take a test, and he's like, well, I don't have one. Why would you need to take a test? That's a little.
Because you can still, because according to her and these three friends that she has. Okay. I can still get pregnant from my husband that has a vasectomy.
And what he said, Tisha got 2 masters. She shouldn't be that.
He shouldn't have did.
Oh, gotta love Marceau, man. So yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the review of The Love and the Marriage of the Huntsville. I ain't gonna say it, but y'all know it. Y'all know. Y'all Shade Squad. Y'all know.
No, we don't.
But yes, if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
You subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, new viewers, make sure you subscribe. Okay, we are like what 3 away from 600. So please give us a little early Christmas present. Help us get there. We appreciate it. Anyway, y'all, we thank you, we love you, and we will catch you next week for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Have a good night.